Parliament continued with the debate on the 2023 budget presented by the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on Thursday. During the debate, the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Bright Rekubrobe, says the demand for a 60% increase in basic salary by organised labour makes it difficult for the government to offer more employment into the public sector.
Mr. Speaker, the total tax revenue for next year will also be hovering around approximately 112 billion, and out of this 44.9 billion is going to be used to pay public sector workers. Mr. Speaker, as we speak now, we are in negotiations with them, and it's very tough. They are asking for 60%. Yesterday they asked for 65%, and 700,000 workers demanding this from our tax revenue for next year. For me, yesterday I felt frustrated. I told them that I was frustrated because the increments we are putting to them, they don't seem to even see eye to eye with the fact that we have been so realistic, we have been so transparent, and we are seeking that they understand that we are in difficult times. So, Mr. Speaker, when this is happening, it then becomes very difficult. If you have public sector workers demanding 60% pay rise, it becomes very difficult for the government to continue to hire. So this freeze matter is simply not coming as a freeze per se, but it's also ensuring that we empower the private sector to do more employment.
The minority also bemoaned the non-allocation of funds for the government's Agenda 111 policy in the 2023 budget.
As I speak to you now, if you pick the 2023 budget, the one we are debating, absolutely no allocation has been made to Agenda 111. Has it been abandoned? Yes. They should tell us. If it has been abandoned, they should tell us. If the minister so think there's allocation to Agenda 111, you should tell us. Maybe they forgot it. Mr. Speaker, but the interesting aspect is that in the 2021 mid-year review budget, page 100, that 600 million Ghana cedis was allocated and utilized in the name of Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, in the 2022 budget, another 518 million Ghana cedis was also allocated to Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, per a letter written by the Ministry of Finance, signed by the Chief Director, Mr. Patrick Numo, to the committee investigating the expenditure of COVID-19, another 763 million Ghana cedis has been expended on Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, in all, we are talking about 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. Not a single hospital has been completed in the name of Agenda 111. Where is the money? Mr. Speaker, as we speak today as Parliament, we do not know the list of Agenda 111. We don't know the current status of Agenda 111. We don't know which contractors are in charge. We don't know how much has been paid to who. In the 2022 budget, for example, it was funded under this Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. And this year, same is being applied. So if you say that Agenda 111, there's zero budget, that cannot be made to stand. So this is what we seek to correct.
During proceedings, the minority threatened to resist the approval of budget estimates for ministers who failed to move the motion themselves in the House.
Mr. Speaker, when we get to approval of budget estimates and ministers don't appear in person by themselves, we will not support the approval of the budgetary allocations to those ministers. We will not do it. So ministers must take this House very seriously, that only ministers so appointed by President Nana Addo Dankwa to oversee the sectors must rise on their seats to move motion to ask for budgetary allocation and approval by this House. Failure to do so, leader, you are assured that we will stand down a number of those motions.
Minorities are related to the fact that the consideration of the estimate should be led by the ministers. It's only the consideration of the reports, even before the committees. We expect the ministers to be there. So the ministers should take a cue.
As the debate on the 2023 budget continues, the minority says it will reject any budget estimate approvals for ministers who fail to appear before the House to move the motion themselves. Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayikwe Okain for Citi News.